I'm wearing white.
Gonna get the booby sweat.
26, episode 26, caught us off guard.
There we go. Episode 26. Welcome. Here we are tonight.
Yep.
We've had a week off. Apologise to our 10 followers out there.
And but we were off for a good reason though. Our loyal listeners, my dad, my sister, my mum, my sister's wedding. It was a wedding.
Well done.
So,
Congrats.
Yep. Well done, Bands and
Congrats.
Kyle. Congratulations.
Yeah. And tonight, you may notice we have a special guest in the studio, Matthew Lewin from Timber Therapy.
Timber Therapy.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Yeah, good. Good to be
Yeah,
here. Thanks
awesome,
for
man.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming along, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming along. So, just off the top of the show, something that has come to my attention over the course of this week is something that happened in America, in Minnesota, right? There was a young girl, she was 20 years old, her name was Amber Check, and she was a welder. And she was brutally unalived by a fellow workmate who was 40-year-old male, and he unalived her with a sledgehammer. And when he was arrested, his reason for doing this was that he didn't like her. Now, I've worked in the trades ever since I was 15. And for a good majority of my life, there hasn't been a lot of females working in the trades. Heavily male-dominated positions, and but times are changing, right? We've got a lot more females working in the trades now, and I guess I just wanted to use this small platform that we've got just to say that kind of thing is not okay, and I definitely don't condone any kind of discrimination or anything against females who work in the trades. I think it's fucking brave of women who work in the trades to do so. And they should be able to feel safe when they go to work. I just wanted to bring that up because I just think it's absolutely shit that things like that happen. And we don't want to discourage girls from working in the trades. Everybody should feel welcome
And safe. Go to work safe.
Yeah, that's right. And come home.
Come home safe.
Yeah.
Or as you would say, unalive.
Yeah.
Or
want to
undead.
be. Yeah, you don't want to be unalived, mate.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good, mate.
Not
That's
good,
not good.
man.
But no,
Not
you're
good.
right, man. It's a hard space to try to crack as a female, and I see it in the
Especially
industry.
welding.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
man.
welding especially. That's a
Like,
really male-dominated
yeah.
industry. But I see it through my work as well, like through the sites that I go through, and there is more and more females coming through, and I think a lot of the men are starting to change the way that they act in the workplace now.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure amongst some men, it obviously still exists, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see that equality, I guess, trying to shine through. Like having females in such male trade jobs is like pushing towards that equality. Like you hear a lot of men saying, "Oh yeah, all the men are all tradesmen are mostly men," but now it's kind of like
Yeah. So
lifting it up, mate.
I just want any female listeners out there to know that I definitely support female tradies. And yeah,
Yep. And
America's pretty cool.
let's not kill people, but
No,
what kind of excuses? Because I don't like someone.
that's right.
I'd be in
That's
jail
right.
for a long time if that was the case,
Oh,
mate.
man.
I would have been in jail a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, I hope he gets his, man.
Oh, he will, mate.
But anyways, on a brighter note, let's
do it.
move on to our guest, Matthew.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Been a wild day.
Yeah.
Getting the kids in bed before I came over and
Yep.
smooth it over.
Yeah.
And
A
then,
couple of little ones.
Yeah, 3 and one more on the way.
Oh,
So,
wow.
jeez.
Busy man.
Busy man.
Should we buy him a TV?
Yeah, I was just about to say, get the man a TV.
Well, I'm off to the vet, soon enough.
Yes.
So,
Yeah?
once this number 4's born,
Yeah.
Yep.
2 weeks after my second was born.
vet time.
Yep.
Yep.
Do not regret it one little bit. I've had sorry, but just quickly.
No, you're right.
I've had some of my mates say, "Oh yeah," they get worried, like, am I going to change? Blah blah blah. I was like, no, nothing changes. Everything's the same. I won't go into too much detail because my folks listen. But
Your folks have seen.
actually, to be
seen
fair,
it
they
before,
know
mate.
everything.
They know
They
that.
hear everything. my best friends. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
And I mean, they wiped your ass for like 3 years.
oh, they still do it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right.
So
Yeah.
you run a company called Timber Therapy.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about Timber Therapy
Timber
and
therapy.
what that is and what it does and what you do for people and
Yeah.
yeah.
So I work with men who have stuff going on, and as basic as that sounds, so my background, if we just want to go back to the start, 'cause
Yeah,
I feel
let's
it
go,
Yeah,
all-
man. Start from
Yeah.
the beginning,
all
man.
Yeah,
it all tracks towards
yeah.
where I am now, and I think it all plays part of the story. So
Yeah.
you know, if we just go back, back to my dad, right? So he grew up, and his old man passed away when he was 11, and then his mum passed away when he was 16.
Oh.
So then he's gone to live with his uncle and auntie, and you know, back in the day, you only go to what, grade 8 or grade 9. So then he's jumped in, you know, back into the trades. Sorry, first step into there, done a bunch of jobs, worked his way up to just, you know, get a trade and just enjoy life. So he's just gone through life and he's just doing his thing. He's hitting 30 odd and he's thinking, oh yeah, life's not gonna have kids or anything. And then he meets mum, and then mum's story is that she came up here to Queensland from New South Wales. I think she was like 20 something back in the day, you know, before you had mobile phones, before all of that stuff. She just came up here. There's a bit of a story on that, but her old man, he's a Kiwi as well, and the way he came to Australia was his dad owned a fish and chip shop over there, and there was a jewelry shop next door. And one day there was a big hole in the wall, and the jewels were missing. And he legged it on a boat to Australia and dropped my granddad off to an orphanage to be cared for.
Oh wow.
And so then he sent two of his older boys back to take my granddad out for a day trip, and then they just took him on a boat to Australia. So we've got two parents, you know, with kind of not traumatic backgrounds in that grand sense, but just a lot of loss with their own parents, and just, you know, you could think of the impact that my mum's, you know, dad and his background would have on how he'd raise kids. And then my grandma, she was engaged to a guy from World War II. He passed away, as a lot of young guys did back then. They died for Australia. And so, yeah, she's lost that. And then, you know, mum's been raised by two parents who are quite older. Then mum and dad get together, get married, have kids. And then, you know, growing up, you kind of think this is the normal thing. I'm thinking this is just what life is like, right? And we grew up fairly poor. And I just thought that's just life, right? You know, dad does this bread run because he likes to help, but he's getting bread for us as well because, you know, it's quite lean. Anyway, so then, you know, you leave school and, you know, dad's a tradesman, his dad's a tradesman, my bro went into the trades, and I thought, well, I have to go into the trades, as you do. So we were the first, I think we were commercial landscapers in Queensland back in 2007. It was recognised as a trade. Before then it was just a traineeship. And we had two girls that worked with us as well. One was a chippy and the other was landscape. And still remember them. And again, back to the start, it's like they were great to work with. It's just someone else rather than just all these sweaty old dudes to give you, you know, shit.
Sometimes it's like a breath of fresh air because you have to. You kind of have to act a little bit more, not civil, but
No.
you know.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean? Like you polish up a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Not as
stand up
rough.
a bit straight.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And so I still remember the day we're on this big job site and we had the plans on the front of the ute, and the boys asked me to hold them out, and I fell asleep. And they're like, "What are you doing? Like, this is the best part of the job. You don't have to be on the tools. We're doing lots of block work and slabs and stuff. It's just hard work." And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, "Your heart's not in this, eh?" I'm like, no. So then I stayed on for a while, and then I went away for 8 months to Toronto. Then went to Japan. Then went to Thailand. Back to the States. Back to Australia. Saw some stuff over there that was, not the not the greatest stuff to see. So then I've come back home, and then I did the social work degree, and that's kind of how I got started. Just going to take a drink.
Yeah, man, go for it.
I don't talk this long ever. Eh?
No, man.
Yeah, the listener.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so then from that, I wasn't planning on going into the child protection space. I thought that's just everyone I know burns out in that space. But then
Pretty heavy work.
Yeah.
heavy work, yeah. Anyway, needless to say, that's where I went for for a good 7-8 years.
Wow.
That's a solid chunk.
Working with the department for maybe 2 years, and then off into another program that's funded by the department to keep kids with their parents rather than getting removed. That's intensive family supports. That's kind of like that last step up. Or when families leave child protection, often they'll get the referral to us to make sure that placement, make sure the kids at home stay at home because the department's not funded to actually work with them once they go home. So
Yeah.
it's that space. And then when I was working there, COVID hit as it did for most of us, and we're meant to work with people face to face, and then they've got this thing of you can't go out. And I'm thinking, and if you work in that space, you have to see kids. Like if you don't see kids, you're not doing your job. So anyone that works in that space, make sure you get out and see your kids. So we got some funding, and I got to sidestep into this role. And I was thinking, how will I engage these dads and these young men? And I thought, well, I love the work with wood, and so I just had these little projects that would just sit and just carve away these bits of wood, and just the insight some of these young guys would provide gave me that point where I went, I think this thing has legs. Yeah. And so we were made redundant in 2023. We had a really good program. We were exceeding the contractual stuff that we had to achieve, renewed for 5 years, but the company I worked with said we're going to divest in the program, which took us all by surprise. And then with that redundancy, I thought, this is the only chance I'll have to actually go out and try this, because I know if I step back into a job, the money's going to be too good and I'm not going to want to just take that risk.
Yeah.
So I took the risk and started timber therapy, where I just work with mostly men or boys or new dads. And then within there's some stuff I do with mums and blah, blah, blah. But mostly it's just with dads. So yeah, got the social work background, got the experience, got the trade background, and I thought this will be a good tax write-off because I can still buy tools, which I love.
Yeah.
Use them at work, and they're 100% used at work. And I get to engage with men and see change.
Yeah.
And being that in the child protection space, I think the engagement of men is sitting around 10% across the board, so really low. I used to lead some teams, and my staff would talk about how they just can't engage with men. And I'd hear the story, and it's like, of course you can't. Like, Dad's waking up at 4 a.m. to, drive to a job site somewhere. He's working till 3 or 4. He comes home. You're there at 5 o'clock. I don't live in that space. When I come home at 5 or 6 o'clock, I don't want to talk to someone else who's about my own kids. No. And so I was like, you're missing the point. Like, engagement's not for them to engage with you. You've got to engage with them and meet them where they're at. And it just kept just eating at me. Like, if that's just what I see in my workplace, I'm sure it's like that across the board. So I thought, how can I remove all those roadblocks to help men talk about what's going on in their life, help the dads raise their kids well, help the young men who are just not sure where they want to go in life. How do I help them get there? And so, it all came together, and I've been doing it for nearly 2 years now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I have fun.
Yeah.
And I see change, and that's exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Must be really good to see wins, helping people, winning in life.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So do you just work out of your place of work, or do you take it out on the road, or you?
A bit of both, eh?
Yeah.
I've got an industrial shed in Stafford where I know the landlord, and so it's discreet. It's not even at the front of it. It's like just you go up this little flight of stairs, so blokes that come, they don't feel like they're walking into a clinical environment with a
that's important,
receptionist, with
man.
all that. It's just you come in, and I just send them a text. I'm just up the stairs, and there's like a bit of a shared space downstairs. So sometimes they walk in, there's some faces that are like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Just come on up." And so that's in Stafford, and I do jump on the road when the need does come up. I'll go work with blokes in parks. We'll go have a yarn. We'll do these little woodwork projects that are pretty easy to do. mindful that insurance is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so it's all just basic hand tools. No one's going to lose a hand or a limb.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome, man.
it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So what kind of things do you get these guys making?
Yeah. So the first basic sort of thing I came up with just like a little keepsake box. It's almost all prefab. I've got all the machines at home that I dress and cut it all down the sides. It's got to glue it up, which blows my mind because when I first started, I thought everyone's got tools. Again, going back to like dad, right? Like dad's got a shed full of tools. Actually, I'll digress for a bit. I recall the first time with my girlfriend, now wife. She was at someone's house and they asked me to mow the lawn and the thing wouldn't start. It's just bad. So I pulled out the spark plug. Well, first I was like, do we have a shed with tools? And they go, oh yeah, just down here. And they pulled out a plastic toolbox with like 3 tools. And I'm like, where's the rest of your shed?
Yeah.
And I'm 22 or something when this happened. Blew my mind that not everyone has a shed. Hey.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, fixed the lawnmower. Anyway, and that was the first realization that not everyone knows how to use tools or just do basic woodwork. So with this basic box, it's not.
Yeah.
There's so much more to it. It's just even how to sand with the grain, not against it.
Yep.
So I also tie in, the process into how it relates to our life. So the box is the first one. I've got these lamps that we make as well. It's got like 3 little arms.
Cool, man.
Little lamp. Made these clocks as well. I made some tables with this group work. So young guys would come in and it's pretty hard for them all to turn up each week. So across 5 or 6 weeks, we had probably 5 or 6 dudes turn up, and so they all got to take part in doing this project. And then we gave it to the organisation that sent them along,
cool.
which then they used
That's awesome.
to showcase of what young guys can do who are involved in the YJ space. That they're not just bad kids that might steal a car from time to time, but they can actually come and put their hands to a job and actually complete it to a really good standard as well. Like I'd have that in my house.
Yeah.
I'm biased. But yeah, so all sorts of projects.
So during the sessions or the timber making or any of that kind of stuff. So do you get around to people one-on-one, have a chat, see how they're going? Is it like a therapist environment, or is it more just, hey mate, how are you? What do you? I'm just trying to picture the
process.
Yeah, the process. Yeah.
So I do one-on-one. That's most of my work.
Yep.
Just one-on-one with men, and then in the group work environment, it's not very structured at all.
Yeah.
Just come in if they want to engage. We'll engage. The table or the bench that I've got is quite large. So if you're down one end, you can have a quiet word to a young guy that might be doing it a bit tough.
Yep.
So yeah, that's probably the group work side. I am looking at trying to run some group programs with dads and their kids as well that they can come in, and it's just more like a shared space to kind of do a fun thing.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that
Bonding.
Yeah.
My boys are constantly asking me, can we go to Bunnings and buy wood? I'm like, what for, man?
Bunnings is great.
I want to build something.
Just wants to build something.
Dude, that's not how the what?
Okay, so
You can't just
So I was looking at your website the other night, and I was telling my wife about it, and I said, well, I must be therapied out to shit because I grew up with my dad, who's a builder. He's in his 70s. He's still building.
Yeah, nice.
He's been a builder for over 50 years.
Yep.
And I, I grew up with tons of tools around all the time.
Yep.
There was boxes of things laying around. He would never say no to me wanting to use anything. He'd teach me how to use it, and then he'd just send me on my way.
Yeah.
And then he would teach me how to make little things. And so, and I've always loved working with timber. I love it. I still love it. I do it now with my work, and even when the kids want something made or fixed, or my wife needs something made or fixed, I'm all over it.
Yep.
And so I really understand what you do, because I always wanted to have my own man cave, you know what I mean? And over the years I've had many different varieties and versions and stuff like that. In the last house we owned back in NZ, I really had this really super awesome space.
Yep.
A friend of mine Alistair, he had this old garage, and it was so cool. And I wanted to emulate my garage that looked like that. There were these old bikes hanging up, and all these old things, and these projects going on and everything. And I just was like, but it was like organized, tidy chaos. Like it was really neat, And you'd walk in there, and you'd just feel like you're immersed in his little world. And I was like, man, I just want that feeling. And so I managed to emulate that, and I just loved it. And over COVID, like I just collecting timber all the time, because I was working on the building sites, and I'd rummage through the bins, and I was just like, man, you can't throw this out. I'm taking it. I'm taking this. And I'd always be bringing home timber, and I made this rack and everything. And the wife would be like, man, what are you doing with all that timber? And then COVID hit, and I pretty much used all of the timber. Right. Every day I just did something with it, because I needed to be doing something. I needed to be using my hands. I needed to be thinking. Sometimes I'd just go out there and I'd just look at the pile of wood. I'd just look at it. And she'd be like, what are you doing? And I'm just looking at the wood, just visualizing what I can do with it. And she's like, well, what are you doing with it? I'm like, I don't know yet. It will come to me,
Build it and they will come.
Yeah. Right. And then one day I'd just be like, got the idea. And, and then we'd build it. And then, and Daisy, my daughter, she'd be like, Dad, I want a doll's house. And it's like, well, let's draw a plan. Like, draw the plan. Draw 5 different houses, and then we'll build one,
So good.
And so it was like, again, the kids involved. And I really understand how, just working with tools and just sort of being in that environment. Like I used to work with my dad too, and some of the yarns that we would have while we were just working side by side, and just getting to know him as a person, and him getting to know me as a person instead of as his son, and stuff like that. It was some really special times, So I like what you're doing. It's really awesome.
And I think it started out as just an engagement tool. I was like, most guys don't want to come and just talk to a random bloke, and so that's kind of what I see as well. It's that segue into the space. They'll come in, I'll say, oh, we've got the box, you got the lamp. What do you think you want to make? And most of the time they want to make it for their kid or their, girlfriend or wife. And then the next time they come in, they might kind of touch on it, but then they're like, oh, let's just go and have a yarn. So it really just breaks down that wall of actually, this is a normal space to be in, that we can actually just, like the first time, do some woodwork and just connect because we're actually doing a task. And then, because, I've got projects that I'll do while I'm there. I don't just sit there and watch, because that'd be weird, right?
Lurking.
Yeah. And so I make my things, which I give to my kids. And they're like, another thing, thanks, Dad.
Another box.
That's right. Which they're quite young, so, it's still exciting for them. And so, seeing us bond, and then, like I was saying, the next time they come in, they're just like, let's just go talk. And then it is more of the, the stuff that I learned, the tools and whatnot, to actually help them through those processes to not retrain, but just relearn new ways to actually live. They sometimes get those thought pathways that are not great thought pathways that they go down, and we talk about how we can, I guess change those things as well. So, but then sorry to digress, but to go back to the woodwork stuff, like sometimes we'll be doing the woodwork, and just how long it takes to plane down a piece of wood, right? It's like that's the same thing. It's like that 1/2 mil of wood that we plane off. It's going to take a long time to take this rough bit of wood to nice smooth thing, and that's just like our thoughts. Say, if we've thought in one way for 20 plus years, and then we've realised actually the relationship's not going the way I want it, maybe there's some new ways I need to think. We can't be too hard on ourselves. Just like that plane, you can't dial in that blade and take off 3 mil at a time. Well, not unless it's a machine.
Yeah.
And I'm not a machine. And so it's the same process. It's just be kind, just do the thing, and then it will come. So
One of those moments where I feel like I'm being spoken to. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's really, I like it. I really do.
Braden's studying. What are you studying?
It's on the back burner for now.
Back burner,
It'll be next year.
What are you studying?
Mental health, diploma in mental health.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, just trying to give myself a little bit of a break.
Yep.
From the mental health side of things, just work on myself. But I just So I'm still just thinking about what you just said before about, and I'm just lost in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's good.
I get a
man,
lot of
that's
those
good.
moments, but
Mm.
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, sorry.
No, yeah, good man.
That's what I'm studying, mate.
Brilliant. Yeah. What? Sorry, not that I'm interviewing you, but what made you go down that pathway?
Oh man, interview all you want.
Just conversating. That's what we do here.
Again, it's wanting to help, you know, and because I deal with a lot of it personally, I feel like I could probably offer, I wouldn't say deeper insight, maybe a more realistic.
Lived experience, we'd call it.
That's the one. Yeah. So I think if I can get my shit together,
yeah.
knuckle down next year and sort it out, yeah, it'd be a good another path to take.
Yep.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
future. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the best social workers I know is Simon Rinnie. He runs Mindful Men.
Oh, yeah.
Just a shout out to you. And he's got his own lived experience story, and just like hearing his story and how he's helped guys going through the same thing, it's like when he found someone with lived experience with the same thing in that space, he's like, they actually understood what I was going through.
Yeah.
And so when I think of my background, the trade background, and whatnot, it's like, yeah, you get guys come in, and of course they're exhausted, they're dirty, or they're whatever. It's like, I don't care, mate. Like, let's just talk. And like one young guy today, he's filthy, and he's like, oh, am I allowed to sit in your chair? I was like, yeah, mate. It's not sacred space. Like,
yeah.
Well, it kind of is, and the space is yours. Like, let's come in and talk and actually deal with this stuff. It's like, it's not what on the outside that counts. It's what's on the inside. So
Yeah.
and we got to talk through it. But yeah, that lived experience. The more breadth you have, I think is good, and the professional side as well. Like, you can go actually say, yeah, this is what I got, and I know this stuff works because it works for me too.
Yeah.
And then it's also takes away the stigma of actually trying to seek help. Because if I go talk to somebody who's just, straight down, like just, the white coat and the whatever, I just feel like they're looking at me. And a lot of the guys that come in, this is basically what I wear each day. And they'll share that they'll have the dude that will like sit back in the couch with the clipboard and just like write and just like not say much. I'm like, I thought that was just in the films, but the more I hear it, I'm like, that's just not engaging. It's judging, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, we're not here to judge. We're actually here to help. And and I find, again, you always have to ask, why am I sharing my experience? Like, what's the bridge I'm trying to build for them from where they are to where they want to go? And so it's always in my mind, like, why am I sharing this? Just not to say because I want to connect and be like their bro, but it's like, no, I need to make sure that we're actually going somewhere. And so when I do share that lived experience of the stuff I've gone through, whether it's stuff with my wife or whatnot, it's like they almost get it straight away because it's not a textbook example of, when the client blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like you've been through this. And if you can get through it, I can get through it. So it actually inspires hope. So lean into it.
Yeah. I definitely still keen on doing it. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm still passionate about it, but just like how when you were talking and I was like, while you were talking, I was relating to it. That's what I want to
Yeah.
put out there as well. Lived experience. That's awesome.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's good. It's like I'm currently studying a level 4 cert in alcohol and drug counselling, and that's because of my own lived experience. And it's kind of like, I feel like if I didn't have that lived experience, then I probably would be a pretty shit alcohol and other drugs counsellor because it's like there's no relatable feeling there. You know what I mean? Like, how can you feel empathy for somebody if you don't have that bit of relatable part to it,
Exactly.
like, and so, and because of what I went through and then where I am at now, it's kind of like, well, I feel like now I'm in a position where I can probably help people.
Yeah.
And by the time I'm qualified, I'll be, another year and a half down the line and from where I was when, and so, I think that's, I think, when you go through these sorts of things and you're able to overcome or you're able to, find things that work for you. Like I got sober just on my own accord. I didn't go through any kind of help or anything. But just because I did it doesn't mean that that works for everybody. And so, by right, I probably should have reached out for help, but I'm just stubborn like that. Yeah. And most men are, right? And so, I think I would like to be able to get to a place where I could, help men. I mainly want to work with the youth. I want to get into the schools, help the kids, because I kind of feel like my 16, 17-year-old self could have used somebody like me coming into the schools to talk about the education. And maybe if I had known what my future might have looked like, then I might not have gone down the path, that I went down. But, everything happens for a reason.
We're all on a journey, aren't we?
That's right. That's right. I mean, I wouldn't be right here if I didn't have that past. But, I kind of feel like you got to have that lived experience in order to be able to do these sorts of things, right?
And it goes to say, we're not saying that those without lived experience can't be great.
No, that's right.
But I think,
that's right.
In terms of connecting, and again, I just try and work with men. When I connect with the men, I think the ones that seek me out, I think that's why I don't look like the normal dude in a coat.
Nah.
It's funny that you mentioned Mindful Men.
Yeah.
Because the other day I was driving and I seen the car drive past with Mindful Men on the side of it, and I was trying to rack my brain. Like later on that day, I was like, "What was that? What was that business called? What was that business called?" And I couldn't remember. For me, I could visualize. I could visualize the words there, but I couldn't pull them out. And then you said it, so the universe is pointing us in a direction. We might need to get in contact.
Might have to reach out.
Yeah,
Just drop my name.
Yep.
No,
we were told that you would definitely come on.
Yeah. Matthew said. Yeah. No, because I mean, from our point of view, like this is kind of why we started the podcast too, was to be able to talk about these things, make people like a lot of our listenership is very male dominated. I think Dean, what was our last stats on Spotify? We have 100% male audience.
It's funny that you touch on that, because like today I was talking to a coworker and I was just talking about like my issues and mental health, and how I just started some new medication. Like I'm doing, like I just say it like it's normal. I normalize it.
Yeah.
That's all I do, and I do it to not force. I'm not forcing it, but I'm not afraid to talk about it.
That's right.
Not afraid to talk about it.
It's like
fucking don't be afraid to talk about it. That shit. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out there.
It's like if you break your arm, you don't try and hide the cast. You
No.
just go, I broke my arm. You just tell the story. It's the same thing, right? It's like our brain is still part of us. So why would you hide it away? Just share the story. And I think a lot of the guys I work with, they'll say, I just don't want to share what's going on with my mates. And I go...
I can understand a bit of that.
And I understand that. And they often talk about it's like the good times that they just want to share. They don't want to bring down the good times. And then I've also worked with a bunch of guys who have lost their mates, and they go, I wish they just reached out and just talked about it. So just by doing it, you're changing the feel, the whole vibe. And it's that grassroots approach, right? We don't need some campaign on TV saying, talk to your mates. We just need mates talking to mates, and that's going to change it, right? So
That's right.
Yeah,
like I've lost 2 best mates and 3 other mates and an uncle, to suicide, and it's just kind of like, and that's why I kind of just got to a point where I was just like, fuck, I'm just fed up with people not talking about their shit, and so it was kind of like, well, I just talk about my stuff, and maybe hopefully that will encourage others to talk as well, because I was pretty fortunate that my dad was a very open book growing up too, and he always taught us that it's okay to talk about your stuff. And so I already had those sorts of tools in my back pocket from a very young age. And I guess you go through a part of your life where you're shameful, where you learn and you feel shame, and then that becomes a part of you, and so you hide a lot of things and stuff. But then you get to a point in your life where you're just like, actually, I don't give a fuck what people think of me now. Like, I really just don't care anymore. Like, because you stop worrying about that judgment, or you stop worrying about what other people are thinking about you, because in the reality, no one's thinking anything about you. Like, we've all got our own shit
We all
going
think
on.
about ourselves.
That's right. Like, we've all got our own things going on. Like, I don't need to take on your stuff as well. Like, and so, yeah, and when Braden asked me did I want to do the podcast with him, and I said, yeah, well, why not? Because it's another way to show people that we can just talk about this sort of stuff in an open conversation.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of funding to talk about talking about it.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about talking about it. Now we just got to actually
Action
right.
it.
That's
do the
right.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, action it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, and I've always said that too. Like, every year it's like, oh, let's raise awareness for suicide, and it's like we're aware of suicide.
very aware
We're
of it.
aware of that. New Zealand and Australia have some of the highest stats for suicide, and
4 out of 5 men.
that's right.
Oh.
And so it's just kind of like the awareness is past. Like, we're all very aware. Like, let's move on with trying to help and trying to fix it.
Yeah, it's really interesting stats. I think it's like with the funding that goes into suicide prevention, we'll call it that. I'm not sure about the amount that goes into it, but I'm pretty sure it's 80% of the funding gets used by females to prevent suicide, even though 75% of all suicides are men.
Yeah.
And so it's so it's not saying that we take away from that pie. We just need more of the pie, but we need more targeted stuff towards men itself, because it's really like when I went into this to run my own show, like all the research I looked at, unless it's specified just for men, like it says, we work with men, not we work with everyone, including men. It basically says, and it says to me as well when I go somewhere, oh no, they've just tacked men on the end.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to get political, but I went to the local member down the road for the what they call the MP, so the federal.
Oh yeah,
Just down the road here, and I walked in there, and there was a lot of handouts for every social justice cause out there except men, and just as I had my son with me, and I looked up at the wall. And I'm not saying take away from that pie and take away from their fun funding, but actually have some for men.
Yeah.
And if you're the MP for this place and half of those who live here are men, have one brochure at least that says we care about you.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty slack.
Yeah.
So you've been called out.
It's true. We kind of feel like we're an afterthought.
Yeah. And so that's what the research says, that if you're going to run a service that helps men, actually just say we are for men. It needs to look like a place that men want to go to. And that's why, when you go to the bathrooms, you'll see all those signs, because it's like, it's at least one place where men are like, this is my bathroom, and they'll have like, the Beyond Blue signs and all that. It's like, and same at sports grounds and stuff. There's all that stuff for men, because that tends to be where men might go. But that's also, that's not all men, right? And so
It's like we took some flyers into some of these local community centres for the dads community, and these spaces are very female dominated run spaces, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying there's a bad thing.
That's right.
But they were so stoked to see the initiatives for men, like the dads community.
Yeah.
They were all about it, and Stephen ran a couple of presentations at some of them and whatnot, and they were just all for it, because they were like, we just don't get enough stuff for the men and for the dads, and they understand that too. And so I think it's not, these spaces aren't taking anything away from females and what females go through, but it's like going shopping in the mall, right? 85% of the shops are all targeted at women, and then you got 15% of shops that are targeted for men, and it's very the same with all these social sort of sectors too, right?
Yeah.
And so, I think it's, definitely something that's, I don't know, like we preach equality for a lot of things, and I also don't want to get political, and I'm definitely not being sexist, but there's a lot of there's still a big gap between, you know, what men have on offer versus what women have on offer. But I guess if men look hard enough, then there's a lot of stuff
It is
out there
there.
for men
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
But whereas there's a lot of stuff right at the forefront that you see for the woman, but it's not until you get, you know, you have to dig a
gotta
little
search for
deeper.
it, yeah.
We have
for the
to
men's
have to
stuff.
fucking really search for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of pissed me off, that stat. That 80% of the fund, if I heard you correctly, 80% of the funding is targeted at female.
Not target. It's
Not-
just
it's the way-
to buy, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
I felt, well then,
Well, I guess that's the thing, though, right? Men are stoic or stubborn,
Yeah.
or too
It's a
full of
culture.
pride,
Yeah.
and so they're not the ones reaching out for help. Whereas women are very quick to reach out for the help when they need it,
yeah, okay.
because they're not scared of reaching out for the help.
Yeah.
Because that's, I guess, the biology of a man and the woman. Women are more empathetic and more sympathetic and more nurturing and whatnot,
Yeah.
whereas men are more like, I want to protect, I want to go club some food to provide for my family. And so I guess that's why probably females probably use a lot more of the funding than men do,
Yeah.
even though the sources are probably readily available.
Actually,
for
we
men.
did say that a few weeks back, didn't we?
I mean, to be fair, man, like I've never used any kind of service, even though I probably should have in the past many times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've always done it on my own. I've always tried to help myself. I've always tried to just figure it out on my own, and I do eventually get there in the end. And I don't know if that's definitely me being stubborn.
Yep.
But I also know that I have this deep down grit and determination that I can do these things on my own. But there's a lot of men who probably can't, and they probably just still can't reach out for help because they're stubborn too.
Yeah, I
You
find that I was in the same boat. So I'm probably a story of like half the men. I was going to join the Defence Force when I was 19, and had a mate said, "Just do your trade, then join." But since that thought, it's like if I seek help for stuff inside my head, I have to disclose that, and then they're going to say, or I'm meant to disclose it. Then they'll say, "Oh, what's going on there?" And I've had a bunch of mates knocked back from police or the Defence Force because they said they went and sought help for something, not even saying what. So they're still, again, like, why would men seek help if it's going to close a possible pathway to the adventure is why you joined the defence, right? To start with, it's like all the things. So you go, oh, why would I burn that bridge? And so like even blokes to come and see me because I'm probably not as clinically on the front. I think there's a bit more softness there that actually, we can talk to Matt. And if we don't disclose that he's not there, so, I'm just thinking ethically how to talk about this. But, in that vein, I do have guys come along and like I've got a few clients that have said straight up, that's not my real name.
Yeah.
I go, that's all good, man. Like we're here to talk about stuff. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's what it takes, just give a fake name and come and have a yarn.
Yeah.
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 That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's just a barrier. It's just a protection barrier, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so, because it's kind of like, even though you're you're working to the Privacy Act and you've got all of these things, that you have to be doing for your client.
There's a lot.
It's kind of, as the client, it's still kind of like you could be unsure. So, yeah, man, it's
Absolutely.
yeah, I guess it's just do whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what if I can knock down those walls that get in the way of men seeking help, I'll do it. Because that's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Because we don't need more men to take their lives, eh?
Nah,
Nah.
definitely not.
I think
Definitely
it's
not.
was it 2,800 men last year?
Yeah.
Their own life. So.
It's crazy because like in New Zealand, more men take their life every year than there is drownings and car accidents, death toll. But yet for years, for most of my life in New Zealand, you get taught how to swim. There's massive campaigns about not drowning or looking for the rips on the beaches and all this sort of stuff. And then we had through the 90s there was massive ad campaigns like some of the most wild ad campaigns for
Sorry,
like drink driving and staying
Yeah.
safe on country roads
They're
and
some
all
of
this
the
sort of
best,
stuff.
eh? Yeah.
New Zealand come out with some of the best, man. Some real hard hitting one, and like I can still relive all of those ads in my head. You know, that's how crazy some of them were, but yet they don't talk about suicide because they fear copycats and they fear people. You know, like it's just. And it's something that has to be normalized. And so that's why I talk about it a lot because not only have I been around it a lot, but in New Zealand, everybody pretty much has had somebody take their life or they know somebody who's taken
same
their
here.
life.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pretty much with Australia too. And so it's a huge topic. Like we talk about pandemics and we, you know, like those sorts of things are the real pandemics.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
What if we locked down Australia for all the men, killed themselves?
Yeah.
yeah.
Who took their own lives? Like that would change things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, you talking about ad campaigns. Like, why not run ad campaigns for men's mental health or suicide and that during like?
It doesn't win votes.
Well, it doesn't. But the other thing is, I think, is that they fear from being called out from being sexist as well, being a bit woke.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to a fellow. He's running an app for men's health, and he went to the corporate world to say, I've got this app. I think it'd be great. And that was the first thing. How come it's just for men? He goes, yeah, there's a whole bunch of apps for everyone and every social cause out there, which is great. Again, we all say they all need it. But then, as soon as it came for the men, it was like, but can you just add can you add? And he's like, sure, if that's what it takes. But again, it's that whole thing. Like if men don't think it's for them and they're just an add-on, then the buy-in's just not the same. So I think, again, I think Movember, they do a lot of research into that space, and which is great. I read a lot of that, and again, that's a good mob doing good work as well. So they are out there. It's just a very slow thing, but I think the needle is slowly moving, and I think you just keep doing it. You just keep you just knock on those doors or kick the doors down that you need to.
I think in NZ a few years back there was an ad on TV. I think it was for Toyota. It's like promoting a Hilux, and it was like this guy goes and picks up his mate one day, and he jumps in the truck, and they don't sit there. They just sit there and they don't say anything. They go fishing and they sit there and they don't say anything, and they go for this drive and they sit there and don't say anything. And then he drops his mate off afterwards and he says, "Cheers for the chat, mate." and he's like, "Cheers, mate." And it was cheers, mate. And it was like that was about it. And it was kind of like kind of see the the whole point of it without anything really being said. I thought it was quite good. But it was a truck ad. Wasn't directed at men talking or opening up or anything like that. It was a truck ad. Yeah.
But that actually points into a really good point, is that men do talk side by side. And again, coming back to what I do, I do have a couch that we can sit in and talk across. But again, most men sit side by side and talk. It's just like when you go to the pub, right? You don't look into your mate's eyes and talk. You just stand beside each other.
Yeah.
When you fish, you're beside each other. When you drive, you're beside each other, and that's when men talk most. And that's
Braden and I look into each other's eyes most weeks and talk.
But
that's
get
lost.
That's just a deep bond. Though.
But you're right, eh? Like even just, I was just thinking about then, like when I work, it's usually side by side. I'll grab that, pass that, do this. It's never, hey mate, pass me that tool.
Yeah, with the weird little hand thing. Yeah. Or it's like when you're screwed in the slab, you're not. You don't look into the guy's eyes.
Yeah. Never working with you again.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's always side by side. And like when I worked with young dudes back in the day, that was the same thing. Like if you want to have a good chat with a young bloke, you just go for a drive. Be like, let's just grab some food. Go down the drive through, and they just talk the whole way. And like I used to love it. The mum or the the caseworker or whatever, like, they're not going to say much. They're not going to say much. It's like, we'll see.
Yeah.
And so you come back, all this inside, then they just clam up and go back to their room and game. And you go, and just goes to prove that point again, right? You just got to go, what's the engagement tool that's going to engage men? And let's just go after it, which is a thought I've had. I'm like, as I can do the tax deduction because I use my tools 100% for work, like how could I get a cool car and have 100% tax deduction?
Yeah.
The biggest V8,
Yeah.
chewing the most fuel.
There's no
most
problems
tires.
with finding loopholes. The rich do it.
I'm just trying to work out how I get that one past the wife. So Beck, if you're listening, it's for men's health.
Well, you know what? It's a PA system for when you drive around. You know, you just get and we'll look. They'll hear an engine.
Yeah.
I not into cars, but I hear a nice car. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
and there you are,
that's me
breaking that barrier.
breaking down walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One skid at a time.
That's it. That's it. And so you've recently come on board with the Dad's Community
Yeah,
as a community partner.
community partner.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
It's good. Yeah. It's I think I saw the flags out at Petrie
Yep.
months ago.
Yep.
And I had a mate go, oh, we should go along to that. And just like all men that we've talked about, I was like, oh no, it's not for me.
Oh man.
And then it kept, it'd come up on my feed like time and time again, and then I started seeing the work that Stephen does, and I thought, I like it, and then I was out there with my kids and went over for a yarn, and it was good.
Yeah.
And again, it's just that stuff, and that's a good stat to reflect on as well. I think it's, I want to say 1 in 5 men, but it could be like 4 in 5. Not sure which way that stat goes, but we'll just go on the low end. 1 in 5 men can't say they have a best friend. And so I think in my life, I've probably got like 5 of the best dudes I know. I can just call up. We could just call up now. I could even say, just come around now. And they'd probably be like, sure, Matty. And I go like, I just can't imagine my life without that. And so you think, what's an easy way for men to just connect if they've got kids come along, right? And so like just seeing the way it works, I thought like that's something that I'd want to be on board with. It's not,
Yeah.
you don't have to fill in a form, you don't have to sign anything. You just come along and have a yarn, and
That's it.
your kids get to play. So
Yeah.
if they're there and you don't have to 100%, deal with them for like 5, while you just have a yarn and connect with somebody.
Yeah.
How good's that?
I mean, like,
Yeah, man.
It's organic.
this is
Was
we've
this all
met-
products?
We're all product of the Dad's Community.
Yeah.
This has come together because of the Dad's Community. So that's the power of what that sort of thing can lead to. That power of connection.
Yeah.
I remember I used to say to Stephen, because my wife put me onto
Yeah.
Dad's Community ages ago, and I was umming and ahhing, and like I don't know about all men, but I know I definitely was. I'm not going to fucking go down there and go in this circle and sing Kumbaya. And I told Stephen that because then I eventually started getting mentored by him.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. And then I told him that, and he thought it was hilarious. And yeah, but it's not like that.
No.
And I keep bringing that up, so hopefully one person sees this and goes, okay, well, maybe he's not full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Petrie
Watermill.
Petrie, the mill, the water park. 4:00 Fridays barbecue. Any dads and their kids, welcome. Come on down.
It's good fun.
Yeah. Plug there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shameless
yeah.
plug.
Yeah. We had Steve on the podcast a couple of times now. Yeah. I'm sure there'll be a few more times. As well.
Yeah. Staple
He's a
guest.
staple guest. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. No, I when I came over to Australia in 23, a mate of mine said, "Oh, you might be keen on the Dad's Community thing." And so I got on and looked it up, and I saw that they were quite local to me, and they had heaps going on, and so it wasn't just like another dad's group on Facebook. It was actually an active kind of group, and so it was kind of like, this is neat. I'll get on board with that, and so I've been going to the barbecue at the mill for 2 years now, and just
sweet.
over 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's great. My kids love it. They've made heaps of friends through there.
Yeah.
I get to not see them for 3 hours. They bugger off and do their own thing. They know their boundaries, and
Excellent.
it's just a good time. And whether 8 dads turn up or 20 dads turn up, there's always good conversation, and I guess that's what it is, because a lot of guys they go to work all week. They come home. It's family life. It's it's that time just to be able to connect with people, and like I even say to my wife, it's like, I don't go to work, like, yes, I go to work, and yes I get time away from the family unit, but I'm not there for myself. I'm there for the family. I'm there to work for my boss. I'm there to work for the clients. I'm there for all these other people. and like, yes, I enjoy what I do most of the time if my boss is watching, and but you know, there's certain things, you know, you need to give that time to yourself. You need to be able to just give yourself a little bit of time. So yeah, my wife goes to the gym on a Friday night. She gets a moment to herself. I take the kids down, and that's really good.
It's good. Yeah, you need to decompress from the week, which is great. And yeah, just if you know, the way society's built, I guess, like just look here, you know, everyone house had a big fence, and you got a big garage door or a gate or something. Like nobody's really able to connect just by design these days, and we've all gone to our phones, which
shits me to tears, man.
It's just not the same. And then you go somewhere and you go, of course, it's going to be good for your brain. It's going to be good for your heart, because you actually get to hear stories as well from men going, we're going through the same thing, and you go, it's normal. And then you share. So agreed. And then kids, they need more than just their kids in their own little circle.
That's
like,
it.
We could talk about research all night, because I'm actually a nerd. And like if some of the research about, like when kids go to school, they're just in like the grade with kids their own age. And then you look at kids who go to like those, like the mixed grade schools and stuff, and like kids that hang out with a wide range of age groups, and just how it's good for them as well. So you go like, this by design, it's good for the dads, but it's good for the kids as well.
That's
if
right.
they're playing in all age groups. And then all the like you don't learn, you know, just by doing something, like trying to read a book and like, look at the board. It's like you actually just learn by doing. And kids learn through play, because like, you know, if you think of your own kids, they just do what you do, right? Like you cook, and then they pretend that they cook, and then they see dad standing around and talking, and they go, oh, I guess we'll stand around and talk. And so you're teaching them skills just by osmosis, which is, it's all right to get out and talk to somebody who you might not know.
That's it.
So yeah.
It's an important skill.
And I mean, I've been told plenty of times, like by other dads, like, man, your kids are so chatty, your kids can really talk, and it's like, yeah, well, because we've just let that happen, you know. And but also giving them the environments to be able to do that as well, which is really good. And for them too, it's a place where they can come and they can see and meet, you know, other good men and other good dads, and they can see dads doing good things with their kids, and then other dads will kick the footy with them, and you know, and so it's this big interaction for them too. Like, so yeah, it's quite good. Yeah, I like it. So, as we wrap it up, is there any kind of advice or any kind of tools that you could give men out there? Like, you know, just if they're going through something with themselves, like if they're not really at that point where they want to reach out and get some help, but what could they do in the interim to just really help themselves? Like, from your own professional standpoint, what would you suggest?
Yeah. Where do you start? That's a great question. You said before we wrap it up, man, we aren't going to wrap it up, eh?
Keep mate.
I think the first thing is like how we regulate ourselves. Like if we can't regulate ourselves, we literally can't think with like the upstairs smart part of our brain. Just like when we see our kids have a meltdown because we went past the chips at the shops, our brain is just the same. It's the same as a child, just we're in a big piece of flesh, right?
Yeah.
And so our brain's still the same. So those foundations that we have as a kid, we take with us into right now. And like when I talked about my childhood, I often think, you know, what my dad experienced and how he dealt with stuff as well, and how my mum dealt with it through her experience. And it's like that's been imparted into me. And so this is a long part to get to that point, but I didn't even realize that that's how like I worked until I got married, and then my wife brought in all her family stuff, which I think is great. Like I really do. And she's like, that's not normal. You know, what do you mean? It's totally normal. And so, you know, when you go, actually, if I don't regulate myself well, I can't learn new ways to think, new ways to act and behave. And so to regulate yourself, as you'll see on the dads group, on that chat, like the first thing is always just take a breath, like just breathe. And there's a point behind that, right? Because when we breathe in, our heart rate speeds up, and when we breathe out, our heart rate slows down. So when you do something like that box breath work, by design, you're breathing in for 25% of the time, and then for the rest, you're holding your breath or you're breathing out. So that's, again, by design, it slows down your heart rate, which then calms down our brain and reduces our blood pressure as well. So the lower parts of our brain that does the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response, it relaxes, and then we can come up into the front of our brain. So as I do with my kids, we're talking about doing some breath work. I like, just hold your breath, because with my girl, she's 3. I go, just take a breath. She goes, I'm thinking, I don't think that's doing what it's meant to be doing. Which actually makes me laugh. I had a client, and she was saying, she was saying, I don't like that breathwork stuff, because I went to this breathwork workshop and they're doing all this breath stuff, and she's like, it was just like when I gave birth to my 3 kids. They're saying, breathe through it. And I'm like, yeah, that's not the breath work you want to be doing. I'm in labor. And so we had a good laugh about that, and just reinforced the point. Do things that slow down your heart rate and calm you down. And that could be go for a walk. I've got clients that just go outside for a smoke, or do whatever it is. Just step away, just detach from the thing that is causing you pain, internal pain and grief, annoyance, whatever word you want to put to it, and then come back to it. So regulate yourself.
It's a big one, man. Regulation.
In order to, there's another tool that you also need to learn in that moment, though. It's how to catch yourself
when you come off baseline
before you so something triggers your anger, and you want to blow up. But it's like catching yourself in that moment before you do that. And then it's like catching it and then stepping back. It's like that little bit where you got to catch yourself. You have to learn to do that too.
Yeah.
Because I had quite an impulsive kind of I used to if I felt like my character was being attacked, I would just fucking go from 0 to 100 in fucking 0.6 seconds. And one day something happened with a workmate, and I felt really bad for it afterwards, because I knew that it didn't react well, and I shouldn't have reacted like that. And so I talked to a mate of mine who's a coach, and I said, this is what happened today. Walk me through that. And he sort of said, you've got to learn to sort of, when you feel that coming on, you've got to really learn to just sort of step back, and you've got to ask yourself, why are you feeling so angry? Yep. And sometimes if you ask yourself a question like that, it gives you enough time to unwind.
Yep.
Because it's like you've been wound up, and then it's like you ask yourself the question, and it's just like, okay, I'm just unwinding now, removing the tension. And so after that, it was kind of like when I kind of started to recognize when I'd feel myself getting to that point of elevation. It's like, okay, well, actually, I got to remove myself right now. Or I've got to step back, or I've got to turn away from this conversation, or I've got to actually just say, nah. And then it kind of just gives yourself that second to reframe. So
I think that's when you regulate yourself outside of those times as well. You get to feel what it's like to be calm.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us, before we do that work, we don't even know what our baseline is.
Yeah.
It could be all over the place. It could just be high. You're just highly strung because work's stressful. It's all stressful, but then that just means it just takes a smaller thing to set you off, because you're already at red line, right?
That's right.
And so when you do that work, you actually go, this thing is communicating a heck of a lot to me. It's not just all in our head. And I talk a lot, my first car was pretty rough, and I talk about, with the car, right? All I had was your speedo, like a temp gauge and your fuel gauge. I don't even think it had revs or anything. And so you drive along and you just feel stuff wrong with it. It's like, I feel like the tires flat. I had one time the tires on the front weren't put on right, and I'm like, why is this shaking? And it's just like you're like immersed in the experience of driving, but now you've just got your little heads up display. It says your tires are a bit flat. It says you need to top this up, you need to do that. And so it's the same with us, right? I think as we get older, we just get into our head. We can just think through all of this. We can just do everything here, but this thing below our neck is actually trying to tell us stuff. Like when your guts feel sick, right? You go like, something's wrong, but we'll push that thing down. Or when your hands are like, feeling full, right? You just want to flog somebody, but that told you that before you even went angry, right? So this is trying to communicate to us, and if we ignore that, like what a waste of the resource that it's being provided to us, right? Like when my legs feel like they're gonna, explode, it's telling me before my head tells me that I'm actually, because that's how our lower parts of our brain work, right? It puts us into those states. And when I work with young guys who are in and out of, being locked up, they'll like, they're so good at just knowing when someone's going to fight. It's like they go, like, I know the look, or I just know the way they move. And it's like, because they've been in more fights than I will be.
Yeah.
And and I go, because their brain is switched on for that threat, right? And so if that's not in check and you walk past, for them, if that's not in check, like that's how they get back, get locked up again, because they don't actually know that's going on. But when we do this stuff and we regulate and we teach them those skills, they pick that stuff up. Like, actually, that guy just moved. That's not him trying to go at me. It's just him moving, or it's just whatever. So, yeah, we regulate ourselves well, and then there's less threat in our life, and our baseline becomes lower, and we can deal with stuff. And like you're saying, we can ask that question of what do I feel, need, or want? Because most of the time, like you said, if someone disrespects me on a personal thing, it's a need there, right? To say, I want some respect, or I want that. So you go, what's that thing I need, or what's that thing I want, what's that thing I feel? And if you can just ask that really quick, of course. Like when the guy, on Old North Road down here, everyone's in the left-hand lane and everyone comes up the right and ducks in.
Oh, it's the fucking worst. It's the worst. I hate that thing. I go a longer way now, so I avoid that. Fuck.
And
to the government, fix that problem.
And just as
2
I'm
lanes.
a mental health professional, there's times where I don't want to let anyone in, right?
Yep.
And I go, what's that thing I feel or need or want? And it's like, well, I just want to be. They should have merged.
Yes. Yes.
And so, like, again, it's like, because I just laugh at myself, because that's how I've conditioned myself, just to laugh at how stupid I am half the time. And
That's what I need to do.
and you go, and which makes me laugh, right? I had this young guy, and he goes, like, he's into his cars. He just loves all that stuff. And he goes, Matt, I just think maybe they just don't know where they're going. And I'm like, man, you're much younger than me. And that was his default. It was like, I just don't think they know where they're going. I'm like, wow. So like some people, their baseline is chill.
Yeah, that's chill.
And like then there's us. So it's like, don't you come.
I'd be like, nah, man, this motherfucker, he's always going down this road. He knows what he's doing.
He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
He should have been packed up. He should have been in that left-hand lane near Eaton's Hill.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So that's my number one thing is like, let's regulate ourselves, because we can't learn if we're not in that space, right? Just like you can't reason with your kid until they've calmed down. So take a breath, regulate yourself. And there's a bunch of stuff you can do, and there's external stuff, there's internal stuff. It's more, or what I think there's a thing that would work for each man. A lot of me go, I don't do that breathwork stuff. It's like, great, you don't have to. There's more than one tool, right?
Yeah.
And just like when you're a first year, right? What's the first tool you get? Like a broom. And until you learn to use that right, the boys aren't going to say, yeah, let's go over here and do that. And then the next thing they get you do is go fetch stuff for them, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes on and on until eventually, after 4 years, you get the new identity as a tradesman.
Yep.
And so if it takes 4
But
years.
you will always be a professional sweeper.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Man, like when I sweep my workshop out, there's a technique.
Oh, yeah.
There's a technique.
Oh, yeah.
So you learn the basics.
Yeah.
And it makes your life so much better. Hey.
That's it, man.
But it's the identity that you get after 4 years. So just like we talked about the wood plane, right?
Yep.
If it takes you that long to become a tradesman and not just, a kid with no skills, it's going to take a while for you to actually develop these new skills. So just give it time and be kind to yourself, because it's not a race.
I know we said we're winding up.
That's
but-
all right. That's all right. That's all right.
I lost my question. It had something to do with time and habits and breaking them.
How long?
How long does it take to really break a bad habit? And we're talking years, and I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Years and years and years of bad habits. How long does it take to see a change? Or it could take...
How long's a piece of string?
No,
man?
no, no. But like,
Twice
surely,
as long
surely,
as half the length.
yeah, surely there'd be an average, or there'd be something that you
Like there's that stat of like 10,000 hours to acquire a new skill, like playing guitar or something. That's like
Well, imagine it'd be the opposite then
But-
to unlearn it.
just don't do it right now.
Yeah, it's that simple.
That's simple, man. Just stop. I think it comes down to like how bad you want it would be the first thing, right? If you're like mad keen to like stop doing the thing, like you've gone to, you have sheer willpower, and some people just have mountains of it, right? And then there's blokes I work with that we just slowly change the way they think, and so, like again, we just learn these things, right? And we just learn these ways of thinking because we saw Dad do it, we saw someone on the job site do it. Because I recall when I was the first year, I started to talk and move like the old guy that taught me. Shout out to Chris and they'd call me his son, right? So like I talk like him, to which my wife every now and then goes, "Why? Where'd you get that saying from?" And she knows where now. And so again, and that was quite quick, that change. We're talking about like 6 months. But then there's also this idea of like solution focused work where often after one conversation, if you have enough like if you can kind of see what you want and why that would improve your life, and so you can see a thing, you kind of know why and you know what the outcome would be, it drives you towards that behavior as well. So unless you reflect on why you want to change at the start with as well, you can't just say I need to give up the drink or whatnot. Again, probably shouldn't use addiction, that's not my specialty. Let's just say I need to improve the communication with my wife.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, why? Like, why do you want to improve it? And then, what difference would that make to you? And then, what would she see? How would you know? Like, you could spend 1 hour on one question and then I'll get guys come in and say, oh, and that changed. So these things don't have to take years and years of, to sit on the couch and talk about all this stuff. We can have just one conversation that's targeted at one thing and it can get an outcome.
Okay.
So to answer your question, it depends.
Yeah. Don't rush it. It comes when it comes.
Yeah, and just be kind. Yeah, like I
Well,
always have a big.
but you've got to make action.
Yeah.
You've got to take action too. Like nothing will change if there's no action.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell your friend
Yeah.
that he's got to make action
Yeah.
to see the change.
Well, he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's doing it.
Yeah. I think the reflection of like, why does somebody want something and what difference would that make? And then that just, I guess, makes you, because you can already see the change. So it's not going into the unknown. Like you've got the end point in mind.
Yep.
Like, well, I want a rich relationship with my wife where we communicate well. And then, when I do get stuck at work or the boys say, I want to go out and have some fun or whatever, she's like, well, you can communicate really well. And so, of course,
Yeah.
and I think that's probably the number one thing that I see is often the communication in relationships is really poor, and lived experience. It was pretty bad for me where it's like the words up here don't come out of here. And it's like, so again, all the stuff that I practice and teach, I've tried on myself and I go, it works.
Again, another thing. It's like you're talking directly to my friend.
If your friend would like to have a chat, just come down for a yard.
Yeah.
Keep in touch, I think.
We can use a fake name too.
Yeah,
that's right.
Joey Jojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joey.
Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd be keen.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, man.
What a fucking day to have him on.
Well, that's right, man. That's right. Well, you've definitely perked up since you came into the studio.
Well, it's connection, isn't it? To be honest.
Absolutely.
Like, I was feeling fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's that time of the year too, man.
Yeah.
Like there's so much pressure.
Yeah.
There's so many things happening. There's so many external things happening, and you've got all of these thoughts going on for like what's going to happen in like 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, and then everything. It's just so fucking busy, man. Like,
Yeah. And being told to live in the now and the present, it's like telling me to calm down.
yeah,
That fucking live in the present. It's like, well, I can't because I'm worrying about yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And sometimes that's hard. Yeah, yeah.
No.
Yeah, man. It's all good. It's all
Yeah.
good. Your mate will be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll get there.
Yeah.
He'll get there. Joey Jojo.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's for you, Joey.
Yeah. So, where do you see the timotherapy going in the future? Like, what have you got laid out in the future? Like, are you
Yeah.
gonna make some big changes, or are you just letting it evolve, or you got new space lined up?
Yeah.
Or,
So coming up, I think it's next Friday and 6th of December. I'm running this like father-child workshop where we're going to make one of these lamps. Each I think there's three times I'll run that, and so it's just 4 dads and 4 kids. So that's kind of where I want to go. Do a bit more of that experiential stuff as well for dads.
what's the kind of the age group of the kids?
If your kid and you can communicate decently, by all means, come along. So probably 5.
Oh, sweet.
5 and up. Again, dads, it'd probably be wise if dad uses most of the hand tools and the young fella or girl can just sand the stuff and just have fun. And then, they've got this nice little designer looking lamp that they can have. And again, it ties that thing to like dad and I can have great times. So run more experiential workshops that dad can bring their kids along to. I've also got this idea of the father apprenticeship. Again, you start out not being a tradesman, you got no idea what to do, and then after a few years, you got this thing. So, one of the things I've realised that new dads, often it's that, like I didn't get taught anything by my dad on how to raise kids. I went to university, and apparently they told me a few things, and then I had kids and I went, nothing like that.
Full of it.
So I've got this program that I'm going to roll out in the new year for new dads to come along, and I think again,
Fuck, dude. Sorry. That is so important. That dads becoming dads. Well, a man becoming a dad. There's not enough. There's not enough prep work. Not enough information out there for how much a man's life is going to change either.
And especially if you haven't had positive male role models in your life growing up either, because then it's kind of like, well, how do you be a good dad if you didn't have a good dad to watch and grow up next to? Like, your dad doesn't necessarily need to teach you anything. He just needs to be a good dad, and you sit back and you watch it and you absorb it like a sponge. But if you don't have that, then how do you know how to be that? In some kind of molecular level, like it's built into us in our biology, but still, like, because we're not the mother, we're not the ones that hold the baby for 9 months, we're not the ones that connect with the baby before it's born. It's kind of like all of a sudden for dads, it's kind of like, here's a baby, and it's kind of like, oh, for fuck, like, what?
You're already 9 months.
Like,
you're already 9 months behind. Mum.
Yeah.
Really.
that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, so that program looks at, what's going on for the kid as well, and how their brain grows, and how you can help them regulate their brain well, so they've got a good foundation for the rest of their life, because really the first 2 years are like really key for kids.
Like the first 1,000 days or something.
Yeah. And then, that's from like conception, to 2 years, I think it's 1,000 days. Could be wrong on that one. And then looking at how you communicate and just relate to mum and some of those needs, but how you can do that, as a dad as well. And then looking at, as you grow as a man as well, there's things that you kind of, go through as well. So understanding, there's 3 experiences going on here, one for the kid, one for the mum, and one for you. Yeah. And like you just said, I remember my first kid, man, the amount of classes we went to all focused on mum, which is great, because they need they need lots of support.
Absolutely.
And then I'm thinking, like you said, you get that kid the first time, and like, the first time you hold it, just your whole world will change. Again, I come from a really good spot where I was like, this is the best thing. And so, and so I think I've worked with lots of dads that haven't had that experience, and I think, what if we could just prepare that, so you go, actually, even if there's chaos in the world, there's actually this stuff I can do, because I can focus on that, and maybe not the conflict with mum or, society or what, workplace, because I can do this. At least your thoughts are guided towards something, and then that helps you as well. So it's all these parts. It's complex, but it's simple at the same time, right?
That's awesome, man.
So that's what I want to roll out in 2026.
That's so cool.
I'll do that in person, and I'll probably do it online as well, for those who might not live around here.
Yeah.
Keep doing one-on-one work with men, with dads, with young guys who are trying to find their path in life. And the dream is that there's a bit more of an industrial shed beside. If I could just expand into there, but I know the landlord, Tim, and we'll talk.
Most definitely,
That's
man.
it, man. It's who you know, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about relationship.
That's it.
And loving people, as
Yep.
Tim would say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what we'll do, man, is like in all of our descriptions for our stuff, we'll share all your links to all your stuff, and
sweet as.
Pass
if
it all on to
anybody-
Joe.
Yeah, if anybody wants to reach out and take you up on your services,
Yeah.
then yeah, for sure, man. Because I think what you're doing is really good, man. Like,
Yeah, thank you.
I really support what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm a believer in it for sure, man. It's
And yeah, like I said, like before we started, like we don't really find out too much about our guests because we like to learn about you as we talk. And I think what we've learnt tonight is really awesome, man. I
Yeah,
think
thank you.
Yeah.
it's been
really
it's really refreshing actually to know that there's services out there like yours that are tailored and catering towards not just the men, but you know the dads and the younger kids as well, and you know, up and coming dads, and you know the broad spectrum. So
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. And on all my stuff, you know, you can just call me on my phone. Like my phone details are there because I think again, you don't have like it's just me, so you don't have to talk to someone to talk to me. It's like just give us a call. And if I can pick up, I will, and if not, I'll give you a call back.
yeah, man,
So I
that's
think,
awesome.
yeah,
man,
let's
just
yarn.
just keep on keeping on. That's what you're doing is amazing, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure having you on, mate.
Yeah, it really has.
No,
really,
thank-
it's been
really
really good,
enjoyed
man.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice. It's great, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Real talk. We're putting it all on the table. You know what to do.